Picture this. A young, driven CEO, brimming with self-assurance yet consumed by vanity, delivers a thoughtless quip that transforms into the most pivotal evening of his existence. What began as a heartless jest before his privileged peers evolved into the moment he ultimately understood not merely the authentic essence of beauty, but also modesty, affection, and honor. This tale transcends mere wealth and superficial appearances. It explores how a solitary choice, a single invitation extended in mockery, can completely overturn your existence. Stay with me through to the conclusion because the revelation will render you utterly astounded. Leonardo Vance embodied the type of individual others either respected or resented. At merely 32, he commanded one of the city's most rapidly expanding technology enterprises. Tailored clothing, premium vehicles, elegant celebrations. His existence epitomized achievement. However, beneath his refined facade, Leo had cultivated a perilous weakness: conceit. Annually, his corporation orchestrated an opulent fundraising event attended by financiers, entertainers, and government officials. The evening served to showcase influence, prosperity, and social networks. This particular year, Leo remained resolute in surpassing all others. One afternoon, while examining the attendee roster with his staff, his executive assistant, Clara, discreetly delivered the completed itinerary. Clara possessed efficiency, dedication, and exceptional professional capabilities, yet she remained invisible to Leo and his associates. She donned simple garments, understated cosmetics, and consistently remained inconspicuous. Before his executive committee, Leo grinned and declared, somewhat mockingly, "Perhaps we should include Clara as well? She could distribute writing materials for our convenience." The conference room erupted in amusement. Clara hesitated momentarily, yet maintained her composure, feigning indifference. Internally, though, she experienced the sharp pain of embarrassment. Nevertheless, maintaining a serene expression, she responded gently, "Should you wish my attendance, Mr. Vance, I shall be present." Leo gestured casually. "Certainly, why not? Consider your invitation confirmed." He dismissed it entirely. For him, it represented mere amusement, another demonstration of his authority. Yet for Clara, that invitation transformed into something significantly more profound. Throughout the years, she had been dismissed not merely by Leo, but by everyone surrounding her. They perceived only her simple attire and reserved demeanor, never recognizing her intellectual depth, her compassionate spirit, or the silent self-assurance she possessed within. Therefore that evening, while Leo chuckled with his affluent companions about the secretary's grand entrance, Clara made a quiet vow to herself. "Should I attend, I will go not to dazzle them, but to remember my true identity." What nobody anticipated was that Clara wasn't merely attending the fundraiser. She was preparing to arrive in a manner that would transform everything. The fundraising evening arrived. The grand hall pulsed with golden lighting fixtures, melodies, and the resonance of crystal stemware. Attendees displayed precious stones and couture evening wear. Camera operators captured images while Leo reveled in his corporate triumph. Then the entrance doors parted. Sharp intakes of breath resonated throughout the space. Necks twisted. Discussions halted abruptly. Clara entered the venue. She had abandoned her typical workplace clothing. Tonight, she adorned in graceful midnight blue dress that sparkled beneath the illumination. Her hair, typically secured in a tight arrangement, cascaded gently across her neck. Her gaze radiated with serene assurance, and her expression, cordial, authentic, unwavering, illuminated the entire venue. Leo almost released his stemware. He struggled to accept this was the identical woman he had ridiculed mere days earlier. Surrounding him, murmurs circulated rapidly. Who might she be? Could she be famous? She appears absolutely stunning. For the first occasion in years, Leo found himself without words. He abruptly understood his previous blindness, not simply to Clara's attractiveness, but to her resilience, her nobility, her elegance. Yet Clara hadn't arrived seeking vengeance. She hadn't come to humiliate him. She arrived as her authentic self, moving with the understated authority of a woman who understood her value. Throughout the evening, something extraordinary occurred. Financiers who typically overlooked her initiated discussions, astounded by her perception and intellect. Guests who had previously mocked her now sought her company. She conversed with compassion, modesty, and understanding, leaving people amazed, not due to her attire but because of her essence. Leo, observing from a distance, experienced something he hadn't encountered in years: regret. For once, his pride dissolved. He perceived her not as the secretary, but as an individual who merited far greater consideration than he had ever provided. At the evening's conclusion, when most attendees had departed, Leo discovered the bravery to approach her. His tone had softened, devoid of arrogance. "Clara, I must offer you an apology. I believed I was extending an invitation in jest, yet tonight you have demonstrated my error. You have revealed to me what genuine strength represents." Clara smiled, not with resentment but with understanding. "Leo, I didn't arrive here to demonstrate your mistakes. I came here to recall my identity. Yet if you have gained insight tonight, then perhaps it wasn't a meaningless invitation ultimately." Her statement penetrated more deeply than any rebuke could have. From that evening onward, Leo began his transformation. He became more attentive, reduced his mockery of others, and gradually abandoned the arrogance that had previously characterized him. Clara, remaining modest, continued to radiate, not because she required approval, but because she recognized her value. And this, my companions, explains why we must never dismiss anyone. The individuals we disregard, those we reject or undervalue. They may possess a strength and beauty we have remained too blind to perceive. Respect concerns neither positions, riches, nor looks. It involves acknowledging the worthiness within every individual. Leo extended Clara's invitation as a jest, yet she became the teaching that transformed his existence permanently. Therefore, when next you feel inclined to evaluate someone superficially, recall this narrative. Because you cannot predict, the individual you least anticipate may prove to be the one who educates you most profoundly.